Now, I've got in the studio one man who has contributed a lot to the industry when it comes to film and theater. And this man is no new face. I mean, he's been there, he's done that. His recent play had so many people going to watch at the National Theater. I don't know what is up his sleeves again, but he's the man that you always want to look out for when it comes to quality on stage. He's also a sophomore. He's a software that is trying to convert me to become a pastor and it's not working. I'm not sure it will work. Can you artist? Yeah. How are you?
I thought you were going to add that I'm taking over the
show.
And so today I'm going to
In fact, you did behind the scenes.
Yeah, we hosting.
So maybe you should be asking me the question.
Yeah, I will after you've asked yours. But it's always good to be with you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Arguably the best show.
How's been history?
We're trying. It's not about us. It's about the God that called us. We are not perfect. He is perfect, so he's helping perfect our imperfections.
That's what I like. It's the reason why I want to actually follow you to church.
To church?
You always preach about imperfections.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
So I always want to hear imperfections.
Yeah.
You know, so at least I can be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like, that's the one thing I like.
Yeah. So that makes the transition easier for you.
You and who?
So once you come to church, you can now transit and also start impacting lives.
I didn't hear that part. Anyway, let's talk about our movie industry. In your corner, I've seen what you did at the National Theater. I don't know what you have up your sleeves now, but let's talk about it. The theater industry, are we using it to do a lot of things, especially current situations that the country is facing and people are complaining?
For the fact that you're asking shows that you're expecting that more has to be done. We are saying that theater is frying in Nkrumah and frying, if you understand that. So we're hoping that gradually we'll be able to shape society the way theater has to be used too. Yesterday, I was on stage. We had a Dufa as part of the centenary celebration for Theodore Sutherland, where the theater week was dedicated to her. At least to appreciate what she has done for theater in the country. And it's all in a bid to also renovate. I would nearly say rehabilitate because the state of it is terrible, but to renovate one of her things she did for the country at the School of Performing Arts, so the drama studio. So whatever the proceeds are from the performance over the weekend is supposed to help puts that place in a better shape than it is currently. So, and we're hoping that from having facilities for performances, because after In the Chest of a Woman, the cry was for us to have reruns, and we're trying to get space as of now. So if we're able to put such spaces in good shape, then we can now know that you have a place of exhibition or performance. Then you can now put things together to try and shape society. But currently, we're working on something we call the Ghana Celebrity Impact Awards. That's what my hand is deeply into, aside the other things we are doing. If I ask you who a celebrity is...
I was going to come to that, but you...
But I told you I'm going to be hosting you. So. but for us at Ghana Celebrity Impact Awards, we think and believe firmly, after close assessment, that we have lost the true essence of who a celebrity is. Where we think that popularity is equal to being a celebrity. But for us, we believe that a celebrity should be one that uses what he has to impact positively. Because impacts can also be negative. To impact positively society by identifying problems and challenges that are inherent in society and using their status to do something to better the lot of individuals and the country. So that's why we put together the Ghana Celebrity Impact Awards.
And for me, it makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know if we're going to be very careful in selecting who, because of the celebrity word that is there, because if we're not careful, we might just end up making it the usual thing that we always see. People just do negative things. It turned around to be that it's made them popular, and at the end of the day, we have people rewarding them for it. I'm not against anybody trying to make anybody whatever they want them to be, but really, we've lost the essence of real impact in society when it comes to these award schemes. And this is the reason most of the award schemes I don't get myself involved.
Yeah.
How are you ensuring that some of these things, we don't get there? Which research you doing with your team? Eventually, the list that is going to come out, how are you going to scrutinize them to ensure that if I'm sitting home and I see this individual mentioned, I'll say this is well deserving?
Well, so for us, interestingly, I'm not just the communications director, but I also head the research team.
Great.
Because we believe that if we have realized that the award scheme in the country and in the other areas don't deserve to be called award schemes. Some of them are just rewards because I know you, so I put something together and I reward you for your friendship with me. But for us, we're saying that there are actually categories of the awards, and maybe that will help us properly situate our conversation. So we're looking at people that are noticed, people that are recognizable, people that cannot walk the streets freely without people saying that's him, like it happens to you all the time. So
they don't.
We look at such people and we see what they have done with that status that they have, like I said initially. And then we're also looking at people that nobody knows, but they have been able to find out what problems there are in society and have taken a step and ensure that something has been done. I remember the lady who was posted to a community to teach, and there was no school. There was no infrastructure for students to study in, and she used whatever connections she had to ensure that such facilities were in place. So we cannot just say we are awarding celebrities, but we also have to award people, individuals, people who are not known, but have used whatever they can put together to also impact society, whether they provided water or educational facilities, or even people who speak to people to shape their lives for the better. So those are also being considered to be part of those who can win our awards. And then we're looking at corporate institutions. The whole idea is that you may have great ideas after identifying problems, but you may not have the proper recognition that would make a company want to spend money on you, even though they have CSR responsibilities. So we're creating a platform where individuals who I'm tempted to say are not big because they are not known. And then the people that are known, and then institutions that are there that would buy into the CSR agenda so that they can put their synergies together to impact society. Now, what we actually launched on the 5th of September at the Silverbird Cinema. And from then till the 5th of October, which is this weekend, but we have had people say they need us to extend, so we're considering it. The reason that we had 1 month for nominations is the fact that the requirements are quite very peculiar and important. You have to show proof. You don't just say, I have done this, I have impacted society or an individual. You have to show proof. And then the research team would come on the ground. So once nominations end, if that's on the 5th of October or a 1-week extension is done, once that ends, the research team takes over. And now we go on the grounds to check what has been done. Going on the grounds to check includes checking the facilities that have been put in place. Checking the impact that that facility has had on individuals and the community. And then we also, if say it's a building, we do what we call the SI test, the structural integrity, because you cannot just say you have built a shed for students to study under and make it a death trap. So what we're saying basically is that for us at the GCIA, there should be proof, tangible, that whatever has been done has really impacted society. So that starts from the 12th, and it goes all the way to next year, 12th of February. So you see that we're giving ourselves ample time to be able to properly assess what has been done and check the impact that it really has had on society. Growing up, when I had to do my service, I was sent to a community where I was told, for security purposes, I was told that they were asked what they needed during the Rawlings regime, and they preferred to have a street linking their community to another community rather than to have good water, because they have a river. and the plant was put there for them. They said they like the river water like that. They rather prefer. So you might do something for a community, but it might not necessarily be what the community needs. So that's why we're going to go on the ground to ensure that whatever you have put in place is what people need in that environment. And then we check the impact by speaking to opinion leaders and also people who are part of the community. Then the next stage will be an interview session with a jury.
Oh.
So once we have selected and sifted, you now come and meet a jury to justify your nomination.
Okay.
Then we would have what we call the grand ball. The grand ball is where we award the corporate institutions.
The main event.
The main event is in May.
So the grand ball is different.
The grand ball precedes it.
The main
event. The grand ball is where we are awarding the corporate institutions. And then we do the nominations of the individual awards.
Okay.
So the individual awards will be the celebrities and the celebrity impacts, and then the impacts, which mainly is individuals. So we're awarding 17 corporate institutions in different areas, environment, health, education, social infrastructure, and all that. And then in between, okay, let's say right after, in April, April 26th, we're going to have what we call an empowerment workshop for ladies. I don't know whether you are tickled by that.
I am. Everything ladies.
Because we believe that the female is wired in a way that they are able to do things with a little more circumspection than the man. So they pay attention to details. But we think that when it comes to things of civil infrastructure nature, most of them shy away from it. So we want to encourage them and build their capacity for them to be able to take part in such ventures. So that's for 26th of April. Then we will go into the main event in May, of 14th May, to award individuals and the celebrities that have impacted society.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I believe that because maybe it's the first time you're putting all these efforts into it to ensure that, you know, we are doing it and doing it well. But for me, it always comes back to consistency and how you'll be able to, in the next 5 years, 10 years, still go through this rigorous processes to ensure that the right things are done.
It's actually a cycle. It's actually a cycle we have put in place for a long time.
Okay.
I mean, to
so
execute for a very, because it's cyclical. From when you win the award, the next month, June to December, no matter what you did that brought you into prominence to win a nomination and to win an award, the topmost male winner, topmost female winner, together with the topmost company, would have to come together to do a project.
A project, okay.
And that project is not what you have done already. It will be a project that I call them the tripartite, would have to come together to put together a project that should be executed before the end of December. So by the time we are getting to that project being done, the nominations would also open again in September, and then it starts the second cycle, the second awards team.
Yeah.
And so it's like a belt that would just keep revolving. The good thing is that we are people who have been involved with, when I say we, the management team, because there's a board and there's a management team. The management team comprises of people who have experience in organization of events and also awards in this country. The good thing is that we're not saying that we know it all. There's something that you know that we would need in order to execute this properly. So that is why even for nominations, it's not about me, Ken, saying that I have done this and that and that, and so I go on www.GhanaCelebrityAwards.com and nominate myself alone. You can also identify what I have done or identify something that somebody somewhere in the community in the hinterlands has done that you think that has impacted society, and put in a nomination for same. Okay. And then we go on the grounds and do the assessment. So corporate institutions can also nominate themselves or even nominate individuals that may have brought projects to them and they have executed and they think that it has impacted society. What we're basically saying is that this is a project for us. And we know what we need and we know what has been done to better our lot. So let's say the Galamsey communities. If you decide to go into a community to do something that will better their lives and alleviate the plight. Right now, when you want to give me water, I'm thinking twice. I want to check whether it's gone through the proper scrutiny to be sure that it is wholesome water to drink, because I hear, so somebody can take that up as a project, but that person may be a nobody. So somebody would have to nominate same if that person has done something that is impacted society.
Okay.
So for us, it is something that we think that we all want to do. And so whatever you think is good, we have. So we have info@GhanaCelebrityAward.com, where you can go and share whatever your thoughts are with us.
Okay, very well. You mentioning Galamsey. Now let's look at the other side of it. Are we hoping that we'll be able to use film to actually change the narrative with so many things?
I think that Ghana needs a president with a little of the mindset of Kwame Nkrumah.
We don't have any. We've never had any ever since.
We have had inklings of any, of same, but okay, so I speak as Ken, and I speak without fear or favor.
Absolutely.
Because I think that Kwame Nkrumah had a reason why he was traveling with creatives. It's not just for entertainment's sake, but also to sell our country. There's nothing that you cannot sell with the creative. So, okay, so when we had COVID, for instance, for us in the creative domain, our thinking was that the creative platform should have been used to handle information and everything related to that. So Galamsey, for instance, the most powerful thing we can do is to use the creatives to send the message across. So I am sure, because some of us are thinking about what to do, it's just that you get stained, especially in the era that we are. But that doesn't mean that nothing is being done. I can tell you for a fact that I know of a production that is, a theater company that is rehearsing a Galamsey story to stage and to use the, in uni we were taught the TFD, Theater for Development, which is more spontaneous for communities. And so I know that there's a theater company thinking of same and putting things together to be able to help deal with the issue of Galamsey.
Yeah. As of last week, there has been so much criticisms on creatives and the fact that we have not spoken enough. People are not really doing much about it. And there's the reason why I wanted to find out what the film industry is also doing. Maybe it might come under some fear or whatever it is. But since we have people who have already started and they are doing, we hope that it will continue. Because Hollywood has used whatever it is they have in film to change a lot of things, narratives about themselves as well.
I think in Ghana we are only committed by being talkatives about issues. We have not been committed.
We don't use practical means too.
So you're talking about you hope that film would be used. There's a film authority.
Yeah.
Juliet
Asante
sits there as executive secretary or CEO or whichever title she wants to be known as. But the question is, does she have everything that she needs to work? There's a legislative instrument that is supposed to be passed. How long has it been? So that legislative instrument is what gives power to the Film Act, the Act 935. Okay. In the Act 935, they're supposed to be set, because it's actually set per law that there is a film development fund that should be in place. If that fund is in place, the ideas we're putting together, I know, not to single out, but he's my brother and I know what he's doing. I know Fifi Coleman, for instance, has done a lot of research and on a lot of topical issues that he wants to put productions out. I know of Africa Arts Network that has things that they want to do to better the lives of people. But question is, you now have to go and look for money to do things that you have to do. You may have to liquidate some of your assets to be able to do it, and you finish and you go into a production and you're not even able to break even. But if there's a film development fund, and I love the middle word, development, if there's a film development fund, then all I have to do is to think as a creative mind and put something together and assess the fund, justify that what I'm going to do would impact society, get the funding and get it executed. And then there's a chain. The money can go back and then I can make something little and take people off the streets. We're saying that people are doing Galamsey because we don't have work to do. but we can have work to do from the creatives if we are serious.
Okay.
So I just think that we're not serious as a nation.
Okay.
And the politicians are not committed to the creatives. We have people with great ideas, great passion, and a willingness to do things, but we need to wake up as a country.
Very well, we need to wake up as a country. Thank you so much for the time. We're grateful that you were able to make it here, and we hope and we wish you the very best with the new venture, Celebrity Awards. I like that. I like that. I mean, the process is rigorous, and I like that. Keep it like that. Anyway, that's going to be all our time for this morning here on the show. Hopefully tomorrow we're back at 6 a.m. for another time here on Prime Morning. Myself, Rosalind Felly, and Esiedwa, the Golden Girl. Speedy recovery going out to Esiedwa. But we hope to see you tomorrow. Until then, thanks to the production team. My name is KMJ. Do good and communicate, and thanks for watching.